This conference will now be recorded.
Yep. So how do we create the structure in OM? So creating a structure is nothing but creating these objects, in the system and relating them with appropriate relations. Creating these objects. Okay, what are the objects? In organization management, these are the objects that we create: organates, positions, jobs, okay, task, work center. These are the objects that we create in organization management. You need to create all these objects and you need to relate with the relations given by SAP so that the organization structure is formed. For example, I have created a position. I've created a position manager. I've created a position assistant manager. I created a position assistant manager. Okay, so these two are two different positions. These two are two different positions. If I do not relate these two, if I do not relate these two with a appropriate relation, okay, these two are considered as a same level positions. Okay, these two are considered as a same level positions. But if I maintain a relation saying this is a relation, manager position is the manager of, is a manager of assistant manager. If I relate it with this relation, then the manager position becomes higher level, assistant manager becomes lower level, right? And similarly, arguments also. You create arguments and you relate them. Okay, you relate them. So indirectly or directly, okay, every object is related with another object. Every object is related with another object. So in this organization structure. So these are the objects that we create in OM and relate them. And once employee is hired to these positions, okay, these positions, once employee is hired to these positions, automatically employee is also reflected in the org structure. Employee is also reflected in the organization structure. But we don't create an employee. We hire an employee in a personal administration module where in PA. Okay, when you go to personal administration, okay, there you will see the open positions reflected from OM, and you choose that open position and assign this to the employee. Automatically, employee is also displayed under organization structure. Okay, another object, cost center. Cost center. Cost center is another object which is created in finance. Okay, it is created in the finance. Assign it to the departments. Assign it to the departments to trace the cost incurred on the department in terms of salary. Yeah, to track the cost, incurred in a particular department. Okay, in terms of salary, if I want to get this report at the end of the year, I must assign a cost center to the department. So along with these objects, these two also reflected in OM, but these two are not created in OM. External modules from other, but these are the objects we create and relate within OM. Within OM. So these objects are represented with alphabets O. This is represented by alphabet S. This is represented by alphabet C. This is represented by alphabet T. The alphabets can be maximum 2 digits, but these objects are only single digits maintained by SAP. Employee means P. Okay. Cost center means K. So remember those alphabets. Okay. We're going to identify the objects looking at this object type. Looking at this object type. Okay, object type O is O means argument, S means position, C means job, T means task. Okay. Next, whenever you're creating object, what you need to maintain is a short text of the object, long text of the object, and the validity start date. Okay, so you need to maintain this data whenever you're creating an object. Object short text is what, object long text is what, object, this object is started from when in the organization. Okay, suppose if you're creating a new positions from today, then today's date will be the start date. The end date will be default 31/12/9999. That means unlimited date, because you will never, initially we don't know what is the end date of a position, right? So we give a default end date. Okay, or the system gives a default end date. Yes. Okay, default end date. That's the default end date. So you create with these details and click on save. Once you click on save, then system generates a 8-digit numeric ID to identify it. Okay, the system generates the 8-digit numeric ID, maximum 8 digits. It can be lesser than that, but the maximum length is 8 digits. It generates a 8-digit unique ID. 8-digit unique ID automatically in the system. Like employee number is there, right? For employee, you have employee ID. Similarly, Arginates will have Arginate ID, positions will have position ID, jobs will have jobs ID, etc. Let me show you the existing structure. So this has 3 departments created by some people, and this department has some positions. Okay, how do I know which one is a position, which one is department? You can display. See, O means Arginate, S means position. Okay, S means position. So currently we are displaying only short text. Let me display long text also. This is a relation. Long text is okay here. Short text, sorry. And the validity also you can display. Okay, so you can, I'll explain this screen later. For now, just look at how this structure look like. This company structure. Since they do not have any positions here. Fine, let's take one more. Okay, this is how the positions are displayed. And this position, there is a holder occupied. Look at this. These many employees occupied this position with the different dates. Okay, on same date means they occupied with the percentages. But generally this won't be the case. One position will not be occupied by multiple. Very rarely you see that scenario. P means what? Person. 8-digit numeric ID, short text, long text, and its validity. Okay. See, this is a department. Okay, and here we have positions. Each position is occupied by an individual. This is name. This is employee ID. Okay, you can even see hierarchy of these positions if they have created. They have not created hierarchy. We can create and test for our structures. So we are going to create this structure in the system. Okay, our own company structure. So here, whenever you're creating, remember it, you're going to define a short text, long text of object, validity, start date and end date. Okay. On the same, system generates a digit numeric ID. Once you create an object, you need to relate with others. So SAP has given number of methods to create an organization structure. Okay, whichever is the method that you want to use, you can use. It's up to you. Okay, the method is just a front end screen. It doesn't hold any data. A method is a front end screen with a different options on the screen. Okay, it's like organization structure 1 can be created in method 1, edited in method 2. Okay, you can choose any method to work on any structure. Clear? Okay, so different methods have a different features on the screen. Okay, in some method I can maintain multiple objects at a time, but in one method only one at a time. Okay, like this, different options are there in different methods. How many methods are there? First method that I'm going to show you today is a simple maintenance method. Okay, the next one, organization staffing. Okay, expert mode. General mode, actions. General structures. Okay, so these are the methods to create normal organization structure. Okay, these are the methods to create a normal organization structure. There is one more organization structure called matrix structure. There is one more organization structure called matrix structure. See, in a normal organization structure, the simple difference is in a normal organization structure, one position will be reporting to only one position at a time. Okay, one position will be reporting to only one position at a time. It will not be reporting to multiple positions. But here, in matrix structure, one position can be reporting to multiple positions. For example, there is a person, employee or a position, okay, who is a Java developer or SAP developer. SAP developer. He is reporting to his competency head. Okay. Besides, he is reporting to his competency head. He would be also reporting to the project managers of the projects he is working on. Yeah, the project managers of the projects he is working on. So now he is reporting to two positions. Let's say he is working on three projects. Okay, three projects simultaneously. Okay, then he is reporting to his competency manager, and also he is reporting to three different project managers. Okay, he is reporting to three different project managers. Okay, so one is his immediate superior, his manager. Another one is the project managers. Another one is project managers. So he will have to report about the statuses. Okay, three different project managers. This is called matrix structure. Matrix structure, rarely used. Okay, so we're not going to cover that in SAP. We discuss only the normal organization structure methods. Okay, every method, in every method there are transaction codes. You don't need to remember the navigation path. Okay, you don't need to remember the navigation path. For example, if it is this PPOM PPOC underscore OLD, what is this for? To create structure. This is a T code to change or edit the existing structure. If it is already created, you need to go to PPOM. To display or to view, I don't want to make any changes. I just want to view it. So 3 different transaction codes given by SAP. Okay. Depending on your need, you can use the respective one. Similarly, organization staffing, PPOCE. Okay. Expert mode. PO03. So these are the transaction codes to create organization structure in expert mode. Again, when it comes to general mode. Okay, so you remember these transactions. Okay, so take the screenshot. Take the screenshot of these T codes. Anyway, I'm going to show you one by one. Okay, no worries. So first, let's work on simple maintenance method. As I mentioned earlier, you create a organization structure here, Tata Group. The same organization structure can be edited in this or can be edited here. Once organization structure created, you can use any one of these methods to make the changes. As I told you, this method is just a UI, front end screen. It doesn't hold any data. Okay. Using any method, if you are making the changes, you are editing the same structure. Okay, just a different view in a different screens and different methods. Okay, so let's look at the first method. Okay, PPOC underscore old. So if this is the first time I'm creating organization structure, I'm starting with the higher level org unit. So simple maintenance is the method to create organization structure from higher level objects to lower level. What does this mean? Okay, let's see. So the navigation is this. When you log in, okay, I'll show you right from login. Okay, the default screen that you see is easy access, right? In that easy access only, one more point about organization structure. Organization structure is basically a master data, or you can call it as a transaction data. When I say master data or a transaction data, where is this data is entered? In front end screen, easy access screen only. Remember that. Unlike the other three structures, enterprise structure, personal structure, basic structure that I've explained yesterday, those three structures are created in IMG. Those three are created in IMG. But organization structure is not created in IMG. Organization structure is created in front end screen. Okay, the reason is you will have to continuously make the changes to organization structure, adding a new positions, delimiting the existing positions. It's like day-to-day activity. Every day there may be new positions. Okay, there will be a positions which you'll have to delimit. Okay, there will be a positions you'll have to change the reporting structure. So this is a continuous changes. Okay, these are continuous changes. Anything that is a continuous change or a part of day-to-day business activity is given in an individual screen, front end screen. Okay, front end screen. Anything that is part of solution designing, okay, and which you don't need to change frequently, it is only changed when the business rules are changed. That is configuration data. Okay, so here organization structure is not a configuration data, it is a master data, okay, that you create in front end. Okay, remember that. So no transport is generated, which means in testing client you have to create it, in quality you have to create a dummy data, but in production the objects you create in OM are the real-time objects, okay. So let's see how to create the organization structure right from the beginning. Okay, so this is a transaction code. When I give you the transaction code, you can directly give here. Okay, you can directly give here. Go to HR. Okay, if you don't want to use the T code for the first time, you want to use the navigation, go to HR, organization management. The path is this, HR, OM, write it in shortcuts. Okay, HR, OM, expert mode. In expert mode, we have simple maintenance method. Okay, now here we have the three transactions. Okay, so I'm creating my organization structure for the first time. Okay, for the first time, so I need to start with my root organization unit. First, you need to double click on PPOC underscore old. You need to double click on PPOC underscore old. When you double click on it, or right click, execute, either way, or select it, click on keyboard, enter, either way is fine. Okay, it will ask you in this screen, it will ask you create org unit. Means you need to maintain a short text, long text, and it's the start date. Okay, let's say I'm creating P1 group. Do not click enter. Okay, do not click enter at this stage. Enter only after validity also maintained, and this is started in, let's say, 01/01/2000, year 2000. P1 group of companies started, okay, in 01/01/2000. Then click on create. Okay, then click on create, or click on enter. Click on create or enter. So I'm clicking on create. Okay, you see the 8-digit numeric ID is created, and it shows this is the org unit that you started with. Okay, so before we create other objects, let's understand the screen. This box is called Object Manager. Object Manager. Okay, in Windows also, left hand side you have a folder to search the folders, right? Files. It's the same thing here. Okay, searching the objects. You can search with a name. You can search with the structures. Okay, you can search with other criteria here. The hits of the search will be displayed here. Okay, the hits of the search will be displayed here. When you double click on it, automatically this structure you will see on the screen. Okay, when you double click on it, that means you are calling this structure onto the screen. But now don't double click on it. If you don't want to see this object manager, this box, the same is reflected in personal administration, recruitment, everywhere. Okay, everywhere in time transaction, payroll transactions, everywhere you will see this. Okay, object manager. Here the object manager is to search the only org units, nothing else. Based on the screen that you are in, automatically it will show you the respective objects. For now, I don't want to see this box. Settings, hide object manager. If it is not displayed in your system, that is fine. Okay, but if it is displayed, if you want to hide it, then go to hide object manager. Okay, hide object manager. So it is hidden. Now, I have created a high level org unit, right? I created a high level org unit. I need to create suborganizational units. I need to create suborganizational units. This P1 group of companies has P1 Motors, P1 Power, P1 Steel, P1 Consulting Services, etc. There are number of entities are there. There are number of entities. Okay. So here, what you have to do is whenever, remember this, in a simple maintenance, it's only one way. Okay, from higher level to lower level. Whenever you are creating sub-objects, whenever you are creating a sub-objects, under which object you are creating a sub-object, you need to select that. So this is the one under which I'm creating sub-organizational units. Clear? Okay, so you need to select. Select means what? Keep the cursor on this object. Okay, select means keep the cursor on this object and click on create. And click on create. Okay, click on create. Click on create. I repeat it, look at this. Keep the cursor and then click on create. Okay, then it will ask you what are the sub objects. Again, you can maintain a description. Okay, like this, n number of objects. After maintaining a file, if you still want to maintain few more, click on further entries. Okay, but here I'm not defining a validity, right? So whenever you are creating these objects under this object, okay, generally the same validity will be taken. Okay, now you want to give a different validity for particular objects, select this and click on period. Okay, and maintain different validity. Okay, for now I'm not maintaining different period. These are all the things that you need to practice on your own. Okay, save it. See, automatically the ID, 8-digit ID is a sequence number generated, short text, long text. Okay, now when you are working on the screen, suppose if your data is not displayed properly here on the screen, for example, say this is hidden, ID is hidden, it is not displayed. It is simple. Okay, view local memory. Go to view. Here you can show whatever you want to show, or you can hide whatever you want to hide. Okay, see this. When I say key means ID, digit ID off. This is not displayed. Okay, when I say object period off, validity is not displayed. If you want to view them, key is on. Okay, object period is on, and relationship text is on. Okay, like this, relation period is on. So we'll discuss what is the relationship period. First, relation text. System has automatically made this P1 group is a line supervisor of P1 Motors. P1 group is a line supervisor of P1 Motor USA. P1 Chemicals. Okay, this is how you need to read. P1 group is a line supervisor of P1 Chemicals. Okay, did we build a relation earlier? No. Okay, system has automatically built a relation in this method. Okay, how? Because you kept the cursor on the main object and you created. Now the system understood that you created subarginates. Okay, so this argument will be line supervisor of this argument. Okay, if you want to add a few more like this, keep the cursor again here. Okay, keep the cursor again here and click on create. Click on create P1. Okay, and I want to give a different validity to this. Okay, and I want this is started from 2010. Started from 2010. Now you see what it said. Please adjust the relationship period to the object period. When the object is started from 2010, relation cannot be built from 2000. So you have to give relation also 2010. What is this relation? What is this relation? Let's see this now. So this is a lifetime of an object. This is a lifetime of the relation between P1 group and then P1 Motors. Okay. Observe this very important point. Suppose there is argument. Suppose there is argument, high level argument. I created it from 2010 and valid until 2025. Okay. And there is another argument O2. I started from 2015 and this is there until 2030. Okay. So this is what object period. This is what O2 object period. What is the maximum period that I can build a relation between these two? What is the maximum period? Okay, that I can relate these two with. Tell me. What can be the relationship started and ended?
2015 to 2025.
Why is that so?
Because this O2 has started in 2015 and O1 has ended in 2025.
Okay, any other answer? So that's correct.
2010 to 2030, I guess that is also right.
If you say 2010 to 2030, in 2010, do we have a O2?
No.
So you cannot relate, right?
2015. Yes.
Okay. So it has to be both objects have to be existed to relate. So you can only start the relation right from 2015. Okay. Between these two start dates, whichever is the later one. Okay. That would be the start date. Okay. And I can continue this relation until when? Until when? 2025 only, right? After 2025, this object won't be there. So this is a relationship period. So relationship period is always depending on object's lifetime, not only relation. Every data that you are going to create for a particular object, be it a argument, position, job, or anything, every data has to be within the validity of lifetime of the object, within the validity of the objects. Okay, suppose I created object from 2010 to 2025. I am maintaining a compensation plan for this object. Okay, can I create a compensation plan for this object right from 2010 to 2030? I cannot create, right? Okay, compensation plan or address, contact details, anything. Anything if I'm creating for this object, I can only create within this validity. I cannot create beyond 2025 because the object itself is not there. You cannot maintain a compensation plan for this object. Okay, understood? So this is a validity. Okay, every data, remember that, this point. Okay, every data that we are maintaining for a particular object must be within the validity of the object. Okay, relationship is also a data of the object. Relationship is also a data of the object. Okay, so which is why you see there is a separate period displayed here as a relation period. Here, this is object period. It's logged off. See, somehow I got logged off. Okay, and I want to continue. Okay, from where I logged off. Okay, I don't want to create another one. Hope all of you have installed Logon Pad. Okay, on a desktop. Okay, if someone needs a Logon Pad on your desktop, okay, I have a latest version downloaded from SAP Service Marketplace. Latest version of SAP Logon Pad, and I'll give you the YouTube link. Okay, to install SAP Logon Pad on your desktop. Okay, so when someone is giving you the online server access, what you have to do is you just have to go to new item. As soon as you install that software in your system, okay, this screen will be appeared. This icon will be appeared on your desktop. In this icon, you can add your online server IP address, like by clicking on new item. Okay, then go to next. Here you can give any description. This application server details is nothing but IP address of that vendor's server. Okay, and then they give an instance number, system ID, etc. You can give them. Okay, you can give them like we have here. For example, this one. Okay, or this one. Right click, properties. You see the IP address. Okay, this description can be anything of anything of your choice. Okay, how you want to identify this, you can maintain its description. Okay, so those who does not have SAP Logon Pad on your desktop, you can just give me your mail ID in the WhatsApp. I'll give you the latest version of Logon Pad. Okay, and then when the vendor gives you the IP number, you can simply add it. You can have 100 servers accessed using single Logon Pad. Without having a Logon Pad, okay, you will not be able to access the servers. So Logon Pad is one of the way to access SAP system. Okay, Logon Pad is one of the way to access SAP system. Okay, so what they do is they create this LoWAN pad or a server in a public domain, public IP. Means if you have internet, you can access it. Okay, that's how these vendors give you the access. They create their server in public domain. Okay, they create the server in the public domain. They keep the server in the public domain. When they keep the server in the public domain, they can, internet is enough. You don't require intranet. Clear? If you have internet, simply you can add it. Okay, add the IP address in the LoWAN pad and access SAP. But in real time, they don't keep this LoWAN pads in the public domain. Very rarely they do it. Okay, they use again a VPN network. They use a VPN network again. Okay, there are multiple VPN networks available in the online, right? So they tie up with the one VPN network and they give you the details of that VPN network. Okay, so you need to log in into that VPN network, then only you can access the client server there. Okay, that means they are not using a public IP. Okay, they have a private IP which you can access only using VPN networks. Okay, so try to understand VPN. What is VPN network? Okay, so how to log in into this? There are different methods. You will get some idea on it later. Okay, one of our faculty takes project management classes, the project management classes. In that, he will show you all real-time work process, not SAP, not SAP. SAP you need to learn from me, but the other, okay, how to log in, what is a private network, okay, what are the ticket management tools, okay, how this workflow goes in real time. All these things will be explained, okay, in that project management course. They'll show you these things, okay. So for now, you don't require this. I'll cover most of the things anyway. Now currently, this server you are accessing is kept on a public IP. Okay, if they don't want to keep it on a public IP, okay, they give a VPN network, virtual private network. Okay, there are many virtual private networks online. Okay, they tie up with the one and they give you access. They'll give you that link. Okay, and they give you access to the server. So you, with that virtual private network, you can log on to the client network. You can log on to the client network. So that server can be accessed only when you log on to the client network. Okay, that's how it is in real time. You will understand it. It's not a big thing. It's just a 5 to 10 minutes job. Okay, so here login. I've already initiated the structure, right? I've already initiated the structure. So next time I cannot use create because I've already created. Okay, not this one, sorry. I cannot use it again. If I'm using this again, PPOC, that means you are creating another organization structure. You're creating another organization structure. So you have to go to change because our entry is already created. Okay, our root organization unit, at least one org unit is created. That means you need to go to change only. Go to change. How do you know? How do you find out your organization structure? Multiple ways. Multiple ways. Okay. So as I mentioned, object manager is one of the method. If you go to this, okay, if you go to this, double-click on structure, refresh. Sometimes it won't be displayed immediately. Refresh. If you scroll down, you see your P1 group of companies appeared here. Okay, simply double-click on it. You are on that screen, right? Now you can hide object manager. One way. Second way, when you come to this screen, okay, when you come to this screen, if you remember that 8-digit numeric ID, you can give it. Okay, if you remember that 8-digit numeric ID, somewhere if you have noted it down, you can give it. Otherwise, that's not a problem. You can simply type your organization's description here, partially or fully, whatever it is. Partially or fully, you can simply type your description. Partially, I'm typing partially here and click on enter. Okay, it will take you to that organization unit directly. Okay, now you are in the same organization unit. Okay, so here each company, each entity has its own departments. Each entity has its own departments. You need to create a department. So you need to create a department where? Under each entity. Under each entity. So keep the cursor on entity and click on create. It's the same process. It's a same process. So here HR department. Like this. You can maintain the same description or other description, it's up to you. Yeah, I forgot to change the validity. See, when I logged in, I need to change the validity. So how to correct this validity is one of the scenarios that we will discuss later. Okay, go to this one, create. So these are the HR department of what? Motors. Okay, you don't need to have a same departments. You can have, for example, here warehousing department may be there or may not be there. But in this example, I'm creating all the departments. Okay, you can expand them, collapse them. Okay, like this. So create till here for today. Okay. So now what is the arg unit? What is the arg unit? A arg unit can be a group of companies, can be an entity, or we can call it as a company code in SAP. Okay, it can be a division, it can be a department. Okay, it can be a division, it can be a department, it can be a country also. Okay, so all these are what? Arg units only. Okay, P1 group, P1 motors. Okay, P1 motors. And division, I have not created divisions here. Okay, departments have created. And then also, if you want to use business units, strategic business units, that also can be. Okay, arg units. Arg units, remember it. All these are the arg units only. You can identify them based on the description. And all these are object type O only, remember it. In our example, this is a department, this is an entity, okay, and also the country. This is group of companies. All these other units. We have not created any positions yet. We'll discuss creating positions tomorrow. Now, what is a position? And what is the difference between position and the job? Anyone tell me? Hmm? What is the difference between position and job? What is the difference between position and job?
Position can be specified to some particular work. Job is nothing but it depends on various roles. It may be anything. It may be a manager or test analyst or a functional analyst, something like that.
Okay, any other answers? See, the position is, as I said, it is a concrete object which will be occupied by an individual. Job is what? Job describes what are the responsibilities of the position. Okay, and whoever is occupying that position, okay, the responsibilities of that holder is described by job. What are the activities that he needs to perform? So job describes the responsibilities of position. Remember it. Okay, so it is not a concrete object which will be occupied by individual. For example, in a company, I have 10 trainee positions, or there are 10 trainee employees. Okay, and trainee employees here, HR trainees. All these are, let's say, HR trainees. In this case, how many jobs are there? How many positions are there? How many jobs are there? How many positions are there?
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
1 position, 10 jobs.
One position, 10 jobs. Anything else?
10 positions, 1 job.
10 positions, 1 job.
So when I have 10 trainees, that means 10 trainees occupy, okay, their 10 positions, right? Okay, 10 trainees occupy 10 positions. But what is that they are performing? Okay, they are performing a role of HR trainee. So HR trainee, okay, is a position name and the job name, but understand the difference. Okay, so 10 trainee positions are there which are occupied by 10 persons, but all these 10 persons are doing what? HR trainee responsibilities. Okay, HR trainee job. So job is not a physical object, it is a description. Okay, suppose I have 4 CEOs in 4 different company codes. 4 different company codes, I have 4 CEOs. Okay, in this example itself, each entity is managed by, okay, different CEO here. 5 CEOs will be there. That means 5 different positions. 5 different positions are there. But CEO is, okay, is a description again. It is a set of responsibilities, right? Only one CEO job will be there. Only one CEO job. Okay, definition is assigned to the positions, 5 positions. Okay, so here I have 10 positions. Okay, position 1, position 2, position 3. Okay, like this. And these positions are occupied what? Person 1, person 2, and person 3, like this, person 10. Okay. But what are they performing? They're performing the same job, right? They're performing the same job. So job is what? A set of activities. Okay. A job is what? A set of activities. You can see. So task 1, task 2 are called activities. Clear? So these tasks are assigned to this job. That means whoever or whichever is the position having this job need to perform this particular tasks. Understood? So suppose if the job is not there, what I have to do? I need to assign these 4 tasks, 10 positions individually, right? How many relations you need to build? Each position have 4 relations with the 4 different tasks. Now 10 positions will have 40 relations. Right? You need to maintain 40 relations. Suppose in this way, you maintain these 4 tasks to the job, assign this job to the 10 positions. How many relations you need to build? 10 positions are maintained with the job. Okay, 10 relations plus job is maintained with the 4 different tasks, 14 entries. Okay, and also maintenance. Suppose I'm increasing one responsibility to the 10 HR positions. I'm adding one more task to the 10 positions. What I need to do? Should I add it to the position or should I maintain it in the job? If I maintain it in the job, it is automatically reflected for all the positions assigned with the same job. Assigned with the same job. So job is what? It is a description. Okay. Task is called, task is what? Task is an activity. Okay, task is an activity. Okay, here like a payroll administration is activity, time administration is activity, or payslip printing, bank file generation. These are activities. Okay, these are activities. The reason why activities are created, it is for the authorizations in SAP. Okay, they define a respect to authorizations in SAP. They use this task. For example, the person who is responsible for payroll administration need to get the access to the payroll related transaction codes. Payroll related transaction codes. So task payroll administration is maintained with the authorization. Okay, payroll profile. Okay, so this payroll profile, payroll administration task is assigned with this job. This job is assigned to this position. This position is occupied by this person. So this person will have respect to authorizations assigned to the task automatically. Clear? Okay, you will be seeing this practically going forward sessions. So task is the activity. Work center is a location where this particular position. Okay, see, I already explained location and sublocation. Those are very higher level, like city and then local area. But here work center in this case, it is within a building where this within that one particular location, sublocation, where this position performing activities. For example, port number or a desk number can be considered as a work center of a position. Work center of a org unit. It can be a building or a floor. So, for example, where is the HR department performing their activities? So and so building and so floor. Okay, or so and so room number. This is a work center. This is a work center for the org units. This is a work center for the positions. Okay, work center for the positions. So these are the general definitions of the organizational objects. Okay, organizational objects. Clear? Any question? So today, just create org units only. Okay, org units only. So tomorrow I'll be showing you how to create positions, how to create a reporting structure among the positions, hierarchy. Now, isn't it a hierarchy of arginates? Yes or no? This P1 group is a line supervisor of P1 Motors. P1 Motor is a line supervisor of HR department. Okay, so this is a hierarchy of arginates. Tomorrow you learn hierarchy of positions. Every arginate has its own set of positions. Yes or no? Every arginate, okay, incorporates some positions here. Okay, we need to create positions for each and every arginate. Once we create positions, then we need to define a hierarchy among the positions. Okay, so that's what you will be learning. So for today, just create using a simple maintenance method. Just create, okay, organization structure. Okay, organization structure, that only arginates. Any question here?
Sir, can we delete org units?
Yeah, you will be learning all those things going forward. For now, okay, I'm not showing you all those things. You will be confused to
Okay,
practice.
sir. Okay.
How to delete objects, how to change the validity of the objects, how to change the description if I give, if there is a spelling mistake, okay, or how to correct the validities. These things going forward you will be saying.
Okay.
Any questions, guys? So make sure you are practicing it today. Those whoever had to get the access, okay, get it soon, today itself, and complete this today itself. Okay. If I have to explain this OM after payroll module, I just need 2 days. Okay, 6 hours and 6 hours we can finish it. You can also understand it, not a problem. But if I explain in the beginning itself, OM, it would need 20 days because you are very much new to this SAP navigation. Okay, I need to tell you the navigations, each and icon I need to explain. So it takes time, but otherwise it is a simple module. Okay, once you get familiar with SAP screens, then OM is not a module that you need more than 3-4 days. Okay, that's how it is. Any question? Okay, so that's all for now. If you have any questions, you can just ping me. That's all for now.